Hello and welcome. I am Excellent and this is my podcast. Hello, Rob.
Hello, Tracy.
How are you?
Well, as always, living the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, living the nightmare.
Are you getting tired of being held up in your house yet?
Oh, it's good you like my own company.
I am an introvert. So at the beginning of this, I was like, oh my God, this is the best. Nobody can come over. Nobody's gonna knock on my door. I don't I don't have to see people. And now I'm just kind of like, I wouldn't mind seeing a couple people.
Well, I'm lucky because I hear voices, so I'm never alone.
So today, Rob,
Oh,
we're going to talk about murders that happened on Valentine's Day.
yeah,
Is that right?
it certainly is.
Well, okay, I'm going to ask you a couple questions first. But before that, let me say, if you guys are not subscribed and would like to be, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you would like to be notified when my content goes live, go ahead and click that bell. And there was something else. Oh, if you want to like this video, that would be awesome. It all helps my channel. Okay, Rob, are you ready? I'm going to ask you a couple
Yeah, go on.
questions.
Yes.
Tell me about your best and worst Valentine's Days.
Oh, gosh. That's a. I don't really have any, to be honest. Any sort of, just running the mill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I've.
probably. So, go on.
Go ahead.
Probably one of the more awkward ones was when getting cards through the post when you're with someone and well, that, you know what I
Oh,
mean, of
no.
someone else. But
Oh,
that's only
no.
happened once. But I think that was mates trying to trying to be funny.
That's your story and you're sticking to it.
No, that's serious,
Okay. All
serious,
right, sure.
serious. Go on then. What's
Uh,
yours?
well, I have a very best one, which is that my daughter Maya was born on Valentine's Day. So I think that's about the best Valentine's Day present. And then I have one that I was engaged to be married on Valentine's Day, and instead, Robin, you might know a thing or two about this. He ran away, and I found myself in a hotel bar on my wedding day getting drunk with my brother instead. So that ranked pretty low on the Valentine's Day scale.
Oh dear me.
Yeah, you know, good times. Have you ever done that, Ralph? I'm not just curious. Take a drink. Anyway, I have to say that it's never been so bad that I've been murdered on Valentine's Day, though. Although that last one, came really close to feeling like I was murdered on Valentine's Day. You know what's funny is my wedding planner said to me, and I've never had a Valentine's Day wedding go through. Everybody who plans a Valentine's wedding always breaks up. I was like, and she did this when the day we hired her. So
Oh, that's a way to drum up business.
I know, right? I
Oh,
know. I bet.
by the
Maybe
way,
I should have listened.
just to let you know, before you start planning your wedding,
Don't
every
bother.
every wedding that I've ever done for Valentine's Day has always crashed and burned. Just put you just to get you in the mood.
Just putting that in your ear, just in case. Might want to get out while the getting's good.
It's crazy. You tell people that.
I know. Can you imagine?
Was she
Worst
expensive?
wedding planner ever. I don't. I. Yes. She was expensive. Although I didn't get stuck with that bill, so she would have had to send that to him.
Is it usual for people to use a wedding planner in America? Because it's kind of sort of a new thing here.
Oh, really?
Well, new. Like, we never used we couldn't afford a wedding planner, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's usual. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not necessity. I eventually got married and I did not use a wedding planner. Shocking. Because I think it was her that actually jinxed me, but although it was a bullet I dodged. God, I gotta say, clearly that was a dodged bullet. So, as it turns out, maybe it was the best Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Do you want to start, Rob?
Yes, I'll start.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. We'll kick off with the surgeon brought orchids for his wife, but crushed her head instead.
He bought a what?
He bought her orchids, the flower, but he crushed her head instead.
Oh.
I don't know if there's any sort of thing between the two, orchids and crushed heads. I don't know.
I don't know. Did she have a choice? Did she hate orchids?
I think she probably liked them more than a crushed head.
Did she say, I'd rather have my head crushed than be given orchids?
Well, funnily enough, dear.
That was second on my list.
Wait, just come here a minute, lay down. Ooh. Ooh.
All right, let's hear about this one.
Right, on Valentine's Day 2001, Dr. John Hamilton ordered an expensive bouquet of flowers for his wife Susan, but she would never live to see them. Coming home between surgeries, he allegedly found his wife dead in a pool of her own blood. She had been strangled with two of his own neckties and had her skull beaten so badly that pieces of her brain were exposed. So sorry if you're eating your breakfast or your dinner. There you go. Obviously, if you're tuning into all then you're probably used to it right now, but sorry about that. By their friend's account, Susan and John Hamilton were happily married. Well, they were. No, they weren't. Sorry.
No, I think they maybe had a problem or two.
But as
for one thing,
investigators,
she hated flowers.
Yeah, she hated flowers. You ever had that itch inside your head that you just can't scratch?
What?
It just says you must have that itch inside her head that she just couldn't scratch, and he was trying to help her.
That could have been his defense.
Yeah.
He was just being helpful.
Yeah, but as investigators dug deeper into her skull, they found suspicious clues that made Dr. Hamilton their prime suspect. Firstly, they found this note that his wife had wrote to him on Valentine's Day. I bought my card 2 weeks ago, so I guess maybe I don't seem as appropriate now, but I do love you. Have a good day. I bought my cards 2 weeks ago, so I guess maybe they don't seem as appropriate now, but I do love you. Have a good day. Susan. Well, that makes absolutely no sense.
Oh, I think
Um,
that means that they must have gotten into some kind of a fight in between
ah,
in the 2 weeks. She loved him 2 weeks ago. Now they're not getting along so good.
right. Some of Susan's family confirmed that she was considering divorce after discovering making sordid phone calls with a stripper.
Well, you gotta
Well,
draw a line somewhere.
what's wrong with that? Everybody does that, don't
Nope, that's the line in the sand for me.
they? Everybody's got a stripper that they made sordid phone calls to.
How do you know she's a stripper?
Yeah,
You're on the
how did they
phone.
know that? Paint stripper? What kind of stripper? I mean,
They didn't have FaceTime or anything back then, so
yeah.
you're just taking somebody's word for it. She's like, yeah, right this minute I'm taking my stocking off. Woohoo! Meanwhile, she's cutting her fingernails.
Did the police ask her when they interviewed her? By any chance, I know this is a long shot, but is there any chance at all that you could be a sordid stripper? Well, funnily enough, yeah.
What a coinky dink.
Then to complete matters further, police found traces of blood and flesh in Dr.
Oh,
Hamilton's car.
oh,
They also found Susan's jewellery hidden in an underwear drawer. Most
oh.
is what the stripper's underwear drawer.
Yeah, I
Um,
was gonna say, what? What?
almost as if someone wanted the police to think a robbery had taken place.
Oh, okay.
So you took a jewellery and hid it in a drawer, and think the police aren't
In
going to look.
your drawer.
Yeah, I think the police aren't going to look. He's supposed to be a doctor, this guy.
You know what they say? Even if you are the last in your class in medical school, you are still called doctor. I think this was that guy.
After an expert witness testified that the blood spatters on Dr. Hamilton's sleeve were consistent with someone beating his wife, the jury convicted him of murder in less than 2 hours. And there you go.
He sounds like a charmer.
Well, there you go. I bet he's popular in a prison.
I, yeah, I would. Mm. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. Um, in Snellville, Georgia, Richard Scheck was looking forward to Valentine's Day in 2010. He was due to meet his wife Stacy at a local park so they could exchange cards and gifts. It was a Shrek's third wedding anniversary. Uh-oh. Right there. It's doomed. And Richard was excited. He loved his wife dearly, gladly adopting her 3 children after becoming her 5th husband. But she never showed up to the park. You know why? Well, here's why. Richard was instead met by a man named Reginald Coleman. He was a personal trainer and a part-time hitman. Part-time, not full-time. It didn't bring in enough money. Who went by the rather immodest moniker of Mr. Results. You can't make this shit up. Coleman gunned Richard down, killing him. Stacy waited for her $500,000 life insurance payout. She never got it because she ended up in jail. To make matters worse, Stacy was not only cheating on Richard, she even posthumously accused him of molesting one of her sons. The child spoke out in Richard's defense at the trial, and the notion was squashed. Stacy Shock. Maybe it's Shock. Maybe their last name is Shock. Schoeck. Shock. She's now serving a life of time in prison. As she should be.
What about Mr. Result?
I, I, I don't. I have no idea. I assume he is, but you don't know. There's one thing to know about hitmen. Don't hire them. First off, I can't believe he actually did it. Because aren't 99% of the time aren't hitmen like undercover cops? Not that I've done a whole lot of digging into this subject. Just your average amount. Okay, so there you go. That one. Valentine's Day 2001. A day to remember.
Yeah, for him anyway.
Are you going for your next one?
Well, my next one is probably one of the most famous. Oscar Pistorius, the Blade Runner, the Olympic
Yeah.
Paralympic athlete. Oscar Pistorius rose to worldwide fame after his victory in the 2004 Paralympics after Valentine's Day. Sorry about that.
Is there a fairy in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just had one as well.
A fairy?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, right, sorry. Oscar Pistorius rose to worldwide fame after his victory in 2004's Paralympics. After Valentine's Day 2013, however, he became known for something very different. The savage murder of Reva Steenkamp. While Pistorius admits he fired the gun that killed his lover, Reva Steenkamp, he denies it was murder. He claimed that he thought he heard an intruder, and he was acting in self-defense. Text messages were recovered from Steenkamp's phone and said she was afraid of Pistorius, and that he was capable of snapping aggressively at her. The court eventually found him guilty of murder. Now, I remember watching this, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. I didn't think he was guilty.
What?
I didn't think he was guilty. I actually believed what happened, what he said happened. I
Well,
take
he
it from you.
said he he said. I mean, he fired through the door like several times. Why was he firing? Because I remember he thought somebody was in the house. He thought she was in bed or something,
Yeah,
and somebody was in the house, and so he fired through the door into the bathroom. Which,
yeah.
you know, first off, nobody. You don't. Why would you? Why would you do that?
Why
If the
would you?
person if somebody broke into your house and they're now locked in your bathroom, just call the cops and leave them there.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose you could have done that, but
Because you don't know. So he said that I think that was the defense, right? That so he didn't know it was her in there or something. I don't
no,
buy that.
I don't know. I think
Or
he's
did
out
he
now,
say that
isn't he?
she was attacking him? I think he is.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he's
I
out
think
of
it was
prison
really
now.
recently.
Yeah,
I really don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear all the evidence, but the jury decided that he was full of shit. I can't remember why he got out. There was some reason why he got out. He didn't serve a whole lot of time for it. I don't know. I won't be dating the guy.
the
Just
Blade Runner.
yep. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do okay, I'm gonna do the probably the most famous
More
one
famous than
there
that.
is. Yes, more famous than that. Okay. True crime buffs don't think of candlelit dinners when they hear the words Valentine's Day. Nope. They think of 7 Chicago mobsters being riddled with hundreds of bullets. That's true. It's never been officially confirmed, but there's very little doubt that history's most famous gangster was behind this audacious slaughter. Al Capone had finally had it with competing for the bootlegging racket of the Windy City and decided to eliminate his main rival, the Irish gang boss George Bugs Moran. Capone's gang lured 7 of Moran's Northside mob to a warehouse on the morning of 14th of February, 1929. They were dressed as police officers. The Southside Italians made the men line up against the wall and unloaded 2 Thompson machine guns and 2 shotguns into them. Oh, that was overkill.
You know,
That was a waste.
yeah, it's waste of bullets.
Yeah, that's really gross. I had a dog named Al Capone. Remember that?
I think I do remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah. Doberman Pinscher.
Was he a crime boss?
Yes. Yes, he was a crime boss of the neighborhood.
He kept all them bitches in line.
Oh, oh my God.
There's a dog.
Uh-huh. Well, I can tell you what, they showed him respect.
Oh, dear me. Deary me. Ladies and gentlemen, you have reached, if you were ever wondering, you have reached the bottom of the barrel.
You've hit the end of the internet. Good night.
You have reached it. We are on a mission.
Dregs. The dregs. Whatever. Okay. Are you gonna do one?
Baptist missionary sends wife to God.
That was sweet.
On Valentine's Day 2013, Minister Nathan Leuthold gave his children's Valentine's Day cards before school. But the only thing he gave his wife was the only thing he gave his wife was a bullet through the face.
Oh
I tell you what, this website, they don't F about. There's no little we'll lull you into a false sense of security. It's just there you go, bang. Right, we don't fuck about here. We're not messing about. We're just going to tell you what happened. Sorry, everybody. If people were expecting a little bit more of a, bang,
romance.
She's dead. Bang, she's dead. It took the jury only 90 minutes to find him guilty of murdering his wife Denise.
It took that long?
He laid in wait for his wife's return home so he could fire a gunshot right through her head. Investigators found that she made hundreds of internet searches. What?
You were always on my mind.
Well, listen to this. Investigators found that how stupid is this? Investigators found that he'd made hundreds of internet searches on how to most efficiently kill someone. He had Googled how much poison a human body could withstand. And how to... Oh, thank you.
Oh, no.
Not that I've been looking that up at all. Not that I've been looking
Congratulations.
up. Google just sent me down. Google's just snitched on me. Fucking hellfire. What's going on? Right, Google, can we do this quietly now, please? I'm trying to do a podcast. Right. But investigators found he made hundreds of internet searches on how to most efficiently kill someone. He had Googled how much poison a human body could withstand and how to quietly fire a 40 caliber Glock handgun, the weapon he used to murder his wife. Furthermore, he had used his children's college fund to pay for a mistress's hush money to not tell police they were having a sordid affair.
Oh no.
The mistress was at the house often, teaching the children Lithuanian. He was sentenced to 80 years. He wasn't the only thing she was teaching.
Well, I also have that story, and so I'm gonna add a couple things. Rumors, which were further fueled when a rather telling entry in the kitchen calendars said, "I know you want me dead. Why do you want to humiliate me by running around with a 20-year-old?" Just on the calendar for Valentine's Day. I'm gonna accuse you of having an affair. I cannot forget that.
I bet the police must have thought, this is a wind-up. He may as well have just signed the confession and pinned it on the fridge.
He didn't have to. It was on the calendar.
On the calendar, on the internet. I mean, he couldn't even clear his browsing history.
He also looked up how to hit somebody over the head and knock them out.
Oh, God. He had to look it up.
He wanted to do it right. It was Valentine's Day. Oh my God. Okay. That was interesting. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna do this one. This one is really sad. I'm not gonna be laughing about this one. So in 2000, Columbine High School sweethearts. Now, do you know what Columbine High School is?
The name rings a bell, and I'm not sure why.
It's one of the first mass shootings in America's schools. I think it happened in 1998 or 1999. Something Klebold. Another kid. Remember they wore like dusters, black dusters, and walked into the school. Anyway, so these kids went to the same school. Stephanie Hart, who was 16, and Nick Kunselman, who was 15, were gunned down in Jefferson County, Colorado, at a Subway restaurant on Valentine's Day. Kunselman worked at the. I want to clarify this. It's Kunselman. Worked at the Subway restaurant where Hart had come to visit him. Witnesses to the shooting described seeing a 5'8" tall white male leaving the scene. The killer was never caught, and the murders remain as another wound in the town of Littleton, Colorado. The same town where, in 1999, there you go, 2 teenage boys murdered 13 people in Columbine High. The couple were buried side by side. Oh.
I mean, it's quite sad that.
I brought us down, Rob.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Moving on.
Right. Bitter ex stabs former girlfriend for revenge.
Okay.
Excuse me. 25-year-old Tiana Notice broke up with her boyfriend, James Carter, because of his frequent volatile and sometimes violent behaviour. Carter wasn't willing to give her up though. However, even after he received multiple restraining orders, he continued texting, calling, and I don't know why I laughed then, sorry. Emailing Tiana.
You're like, restraining orders.
Yeah.
Please.
Eventually culminating in these threats. Trust me, baby girl, you are going to lose everything. As God, as my witness. Terrible English. Punishment is on its way, so be prepared. You have nothing but bad luck. You have had nothing but bad luck. You hear me? Remember this email when karma bites you in the ass. But you will have to answer to God first for screwing James' family over because of all the things they did for you. Right, hang on. Despite frequent police investigations, Carter kept trying to visit Tiana in her home and workplace, and he wrote many letters. His behaviour alternated between extremely hostile and extremely apologetic, often times trying to make amends and then get back with Tiana. God told me to write. Right, hang on, here we go. God told me to write, so please don't tell the cops. I'm going through a life or death situation right now, and you are the only one I can talk to. You ever been close to death or thought of going to die? If I am lying, may the Lord strike me down and kill me tomorrow. Why not today? My dad.
Yeah. Why do today what you can put off till
Yeah.
tomorrow?
My dad said he had a dream that our neighbours gave us two tombstones at our house. In dire straits situation, please help me get rid of the restraining orders. Tiana returned to the police with the email and they finally agreed to take Carter in for violating the restraining order. They wouldn't be able to arrest him in time now, however, on the evening of Valentine on the evening of Valentine's Day 2009, Tiana was killed by over 20 stab wounds inflicted by ex-boyfriend James Carter. Carter was sentenced to 60 years in prison.
Wow.
Just 60 years? 60 years?
Yeah, 60 years. Are you kidding me right now?
You know what I mean? 60 years.
Yeah,
60.
that doesn't cover it. But yeah, think about this. What if he gets like time off for good behavior?
Yeah.
He could be out in like, what, 30 years?
I mean, it's the notes and stuff that I've just read out. They've obviously printed them as he had wrote them.
Yeah.
He should have been less worried about restraining orders and more concerned with his English because it was atrocious.
That's what you took out of that? Okay. I thought the lesson here was stop being crazy.
Well, that as well, obviously. That's well.
All
I'm
right.
not an animal. I'm not an animal.
Here we go. Flowers were not in the future for Tamika Peterson of West Palm Beach, Florida. Well, that's good because we know how that goes over.
Yep.
She had been living with her boyfriend, Paul Gibson, a 3-time prison veteran, and decided she was going to call it quits on Valentine's Day. That bitch. Sorry, leftover feelings. 2011. Peterson arranged for a ride and left the home. I shouldn't have made fun of that, by the way. I'm going to take that back. She would make it far. Why? Because Gibson pulled a gun and fired multiple shots into the vehicle. Oh no! Where 4 additional people also sat, including a 3-year-old girl.
Oh.
Peterson died at the scene, but justice was assured. Gibson got a life sentence. I don't think anybody else died. Just randomly firing into the car. Wow. Ugh. Piece of work.
It's a coward's way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's a right way, but...
Well, no. You got another one?
Yeah, this one is... The photograph of this couple is a really nice... They look like a really nice couple, actually. A loving couple tortured to death after Valentine's Day dance.
Oh, yeah.
Valentine's Day 1971 was the last holiday 19-year-old Jess McBain and 20-year-old Patricia Mann spent together, or spent alive for that matter. The young lovebirds accompanied each other to a Valentine's Day dance at the local hospital. Well, that was probably fortuitous. But neither returned to their but neither returned to their beds that night. The police. Excuse me, I just had a drink and I'm just a bit gassy. The police initially ignored the. Sorry.
So
What?
weird. Okay.
Right. The police initially ignored the case, assuming that the couple had just run away or eloped. Only a few days later began to investigate an investigation that yielded no results. A week later, the local surveyor found 2 bodies tied to a tree, still lovingly leaned against each other. It was Jess, and Patricia. Marks on their necks and bodies indicated the rope was tightened and slackened around them multiple times, implying some sort of sick torture.
Yeah.
Because their kidnapping and death happened in different counties, multiple police precincts were involved that often were reluctant to share information. This is ridiculous about America. Sorry. Well, sorry, but
That's okay. Hey.
don't you think it's crazy when police forces from different states or whatever won't share information about anything, especially about a young couple being murdered?
Well, yeah. Remember, you watched the Richard Ramirez documentary, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
There was not only different cities, but in the same city, different, sheriffs, state police, city police wouldn't talk to each other about the stuff they were finding out about his crimes.
Yeah. So, no suspects were ever brought in, and the murderer remains at large to this day.
That's
a bit
crazy.
spooky.
You know what he did for a living, don't you?
Hey, no.
You
Say
don't?
on it.
Well, it doesn't need to. He was a truck driver.
Oh.
Shh.
Here we go again.
Maybe we could just do a podcast and we can interview truck drivers.
I'm sorry if you're a truck driver. I'm sorry if you drive any type of vehicle, a boat, a truck, plane, anything. Because Tracy isn't prejudiced against any of you. She thinks basically you're all mass murderers.
I just called a dead woman a bad word, so I don't have any room to stand on right now. Shame on me. Okay, here you go. You ready? This one
Yeah.
is really weird. I mean, well, you'll see. The Carlsbad, California murder of developmentally disabled Jodine Sarin, who was 39, played out like a nightmare for her parents, who saw her killer but didn't realize until it was too late. On February 14, 2007, Sarin's parents visited her condo and walked in on what seemed to be a man having sex with her in her bedroom. So they went out to the living room to wait for her so they didn't embarrass her. And when they never came, the couple never came out. The parents went in the bedroom and found that their daughter was strangled to death. The perpetrator was gone.
I'm
That's
speechless.
yeah, yes. You gotta be speechless on that one.
How could they not know something was up?
Well, they said that, I mean, she they said that she was um, what did she say? I said mentally, developmentally disabled. Uh, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know. My first concern as a parent would be like, does this guy know that? Is he taking advantage of her? Can she consent to something like this?
Well, yeah,
So
is it
I,
usual to walk in on a having sex? Was it like a normal thing, or was it just was it just a one-off?
yeah, I guess it was just a one-off. But yeah. How? But oh my God, can you imagine? You're sitting out in the living room while your daughter's getting killed. And you're just like, oh, it's so embarrassing. Ugh, I could not live with myself without that. It's getting less and less funny.
Yeah, I've got one other one that'll lighten the mood.
Okay, perfect.
Husband murders wife and stuffs pieces of the body in garbage bags and then blames the police for everything.
That's what I was gonna do. Whatever.
Right, right, here we go.
Okay.
On Valentine's Day 2007, Stephen Grant notified the local police precinct that his wife, Tara Lynn Grant, was missing. After interviewing Stephen, police discovered that there was a 5-day gap between when his wife went missing and when he reported her disappearance. Stephen immediately began to going on a media bonanza, appearing on tons of shows and accusing the police of harassment. In early March, police executed a search warrant on Grant's home. Wouldn't you think they would do that sort of straight away as soon as there was a 5-day? Um, as soon as they worked out there's a 5-day discrepancy, the first thing I
Yeah.
would do would be search the house. But there you go.
Yeah. Huh.
Stephen Grant immediately began going on a media blah blah blah. Police executed a search warrant on Grant's home and found mangled pieces of Tara's remains on the floor of the
Oh,
garage.
jeez.
Stephen Grant apparently originally dumped his wife's body in the local park, but moved it back to the garage after hearing the police would be searching the park.
Oh, by the
Hey,
way, that
who?
noise that that noise is my Labrador getting a drink of water, and
Um,
apparently it's endless.
Stephen Grant, by the time of the search, fled off the state, but police caught him in Michigan by tracking a phone call he made to his sister. After being brought in by the police, Grant confessed, saying he had strangled his wife after she belittled him and bit him. He was
Oh,
sentenced to 50 years in prison.
50.
50 years after.
These murderers aren't getting a lot of time.
No. Well, she did bite him, so, I mean, it was her own fault.
Oh my god. Oh my god, there's so much wrong with this podcast. I don't even know where to start.
That was a joke, by the way.
Uh,
That was a joke, by the way.
I had that moment a little while ago, so. Oh my god. I don't have any more.
That's my last one.
Is it?
That's my last one, yeah.
Alright. Well, Valentine's Day is fraught with emotions. I don't do Valentine's Day. I don't. We don't celebrate it. Well, first off, it's always been my daughter's birthday, so that's been the priority. But I'm not stupid. If you want chocolates, you go the next day. And they're half price. Hello.
Yeah.
What
Good
a
point,
difference a
that.
day makes.
Yeah. Good point. Well done, Chase.
Thank you. It's a good trick. Well, that was interesting, Rob.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. Not, I mean, people got to bear in mind, yeah, these murders are tragic, and we're just trying to bring a lighter note to them. It's just, that sounds worse. That sounds worse. Sorry, everybody. I'm just a dick. That's basically why I'm defenseless. I'm just a dick.
Well, I mean, you said it.
I think that pretty much covers everything I've said, really.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do more like this. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. If you're still here, and if you want to give this video a thumbs up, I don't know why you would, and subscribe if you'd like.
Yeah. Check out the group. Don't forget to tell people about the groups. The groups are absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them.
The groups, we've got one, well, there's one called Exit Light, obviously, because it's the Exit Light channel. And well, just check out that one, because both groups are the same. So, but yeah, you think you really enjoy it. And there's a lot,
Well,
if
you're
you
getting
like,
a lot of people coming to your group, so go ahead and tell them the name.
my group is called Paranormal and Supernatural World, and the other group is called Exit Light. And
On Facebook?
yeah, on Facebook, the Facebook groups, yeah.
Yeah, Rob does a great job, you guys, no matter what your what am I trying to say? What interests are. So he puts up ghost stories and different kinds of hauntings and movies that are coming out that are scary movies and every paranormal topic there is, UFOs, you name it, cryptids. He puts up a whole bunch of different stuff. So check it out because there's a lot of interesting stuff to look through. And, give Rob a high five.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Rob. Well, our time has come.
I think so, yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, good night.
Guten Nacht.
Wherever you may be.
Bye.
Bye.